let's head to where we were right and where we were wrong, Chase. So hit me with where you were right this week.
Yeah, whereas, right, I'm going to go back to Thursday Night Football, the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? I predicted them to do really good. They slowed down. I almost gave up on them. I decided to give them one last try when they went to London, and somehow they figured it out. They were moving pretty good, all cylinders. They had a little blip in like the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, where the Saints maybe could have caught up. Then they kind of put the game back, back away, right? I know Derek Carr missed that throw, but uh, I just think Jacksonville looked good, and that's the team that I'm rocking with, as my number 2 seed in the AFC, and I think they can do it. I'd be very surprised if they drop one or two more games, right? I think that's the most they would drop the next time. I think they've got all their bad losses to the Texans and all that under their belt, right? And now it's time to pave the way with some excellent football.
So I'm gonna go back. Where I was right was taking the Browns over the Colts. That was honestly a game that I kind of wrestled with just because of the emotional win that the Browns came off of. Sometimes you think that there's kind of a dip in that, after you kind of really,
Yeah.
really put it all out there against a really good team, you get the win. There's kind of an emotional and play kind of drop. But for the most part, like it really was. I mean, yeah, their defense gave up a ton of yards and a ton of points. Deshaun Watson goes out again. PJ Walker comes in and balls. I love PJ Walker since he played for the Houston Roughnecks in the XFL. And so I was able to dominate there. But it's just stuck with my gut and picked the Browns. And so, I was right in picking that, even though it was they were helped a little bit there with some officiating and stuff for sure. But at the end of the day, the Browns get the win. And so, I feel good about picking them to win that
game. Yep. Very good pick. Right. Where I was wrong, right? And this is wild because I went maybe the easy route. I was wrong about almost every other game this week. It was insane. Even the games that I got right, if you would have asked me what I thought would have happened, I would have been wrong in it. Like it was a showing of just a complete wildness is why I like the NFL, right? This week, I don't think this week happens. You could play the same schedule 3 more weeks in a row and it doesn't happen, right? The Colts don't put up 38 points or 35 points, whatever they did against them, right? Gardner Minshew led. The Bills don't drop drop a game to the Patriots again. The Giants don't finally look like a team with a backup quarterback. The Lions showed up. We already talked about them. The Bears, we talked about them. The Falcons, I picked the Falcons to win. This is where I'm supposed to be wrong about, but the Falcons without Bijan fumbling in the red zone didn't look like the team that I thought they were going to be. The Rams lost. I mean, this was just a poor showing. I went 5-8. The first time this year I'm going under 500. And this is just a shellacking by some teams, some upsets, some teams that should win that just couldn't. Just wow, I was wrong about a lot this week. Too much to put into words.
So week of upsets for sure. Minus the one that I picked.
Yeah. Yes.
Where I was wrong. I think I was wrong in counting the Steelers out too early. So going into the season, all offseason, you know how I was on the Steelers. I mean, they were my team, not to win the division, but they were my team. Like this is the team that missed the playoffs last year that's going to be able to win the playoffs this year. The first 4 weeks, they were playing awful football. The defense wasn't as dominant as we're used to seeing. The offense was terrible. They were not moving the ball, not scoring points at all. It was terrible. So they were at the 2-2 mark. We did the segment where we went over which 2-2 teams we thought were pretenders or contenders. And I listed them as pretenders. I got off my own train that I was kind of running myself, and I said, listen, what I've seen through 4 weeks, it's just been terrible. And then since then, they've won 2 games. So am I the motivating factor against the Pittsburgh Steelers? Maybe. Who's to say? But they're definitely still in play as of right now. They're in the playoffs, right? They still got a long way to go. But that win over the Rams was big, right? Got to win against teams that you should win. Like the Rams, I'm not necessarily surprised at the Steelers won. I don't think the Rams were this great team, even though I picked the Rams to beat the Steelers. But you got to win those games against teams that you probably should beat. George Pickens finally had a game going over 100 yards, so they looked really good. But the defense still has to figure stuff out, right? You can't give up over 100 yards to Puka Nacua. I mean, they held Cooper Kupp in check, but it was still just one of those things where some uncharacteristic things were stealing from the Steelers defensively. And so if their offense can just keep picking up, and this is, as I said before, what happened last year, right? Where the offense, they started off bad and then they turned it around and started playing better, right? There's the second half of the season. So obviously they're still in the first half of the season, so they can only really get better from here. I'm going to say that's where I'm wrong. I'm going to hop back on the Steelers train and say I was counting the Steelers out too early.